disruption in the financial world.
The majority of us don't physically handle paper that much these days.
Money moving over the air daily. Over $7 trillion of trading daily. The continuous need for security, stability, innovative solutions. Banks and trading platforms constantly cutting costs and speeding up transfers. Trading platforms sharing profits with clients. Everyone wanting to invest and earn on the go. The urgency to work and earn by the minute. Guess what? The revolution is here. Introducing the EXcoin stablecoin USDE, the new digital treasure. Trading in the digital options futures market at 1-to-1 against USDT. Join the community today. Visit EXcoin Futures website at www.excoin.io to get started.
Hello, good morning everyone. Everyone okay? Awake? So I'd like to just cover today a use case. A lot of people talking about stable coins, what's the future, what's the security token, but we've actually been doing it and now we're going to the world and talking about it. And all of that's with our own money. So with that, what I'd like to say is make some bold statements. We've heard a lot of speakers over the last couple of days making various predictions, and I've been saying this for the last 3 years. I said at least 50% of the world's retail banks and a lot of the traditional small exchanges will disappear. How many people agree with that? Well done. So we're already seeing that, right? 3 years on, we're already seeing a lot of that consolidating. We're seeing a lot of the retails and exchange shops closing. Why? Because not many of us hang around and carry paper, okay? And what blockchain is doing is trying to enable it very, very fast. So before I go into that, let me give you just a little bit of my background. I've come from, actually a world citizen, a true world citizen, born in Kenya, lived in UK, America, Europe, Dubai. So I've really lived all around the world and come from an IT background. So right in the early days of internet with the .com and Java days, I was there right at the heart of it with Sun Microsystems, not only as an evangelist and a visionary, but also involved in hundreds of startups and venture capital and angel investment types of opportunities. So I see a lot of these parallels happening already with the blockchain side, because the internet fueled a lot of the things that we were talking about 25 years ago. You know, when we went to people like Toys R Us and Woolworths, sorry to name a few, and we said, you know, we've got this thing called .com and people are going to buy online. I was one of the first crazy guys in the 90s, went and bought a Mercedes S-Class online just to prove it to them. And no one was believing it. And now a lot of these retail outlets have disappeared. And I see the same thing happening in the financial and exchange markets just now. So these disruptions that are happening, I've always been at the forefront of disruptions during those 25 years. So what I see now happening is a lot of it's driven by people like us. We don't touch money today. You know, 99% of us don't touch money, yet there's $7 trillion worth of financial transactions happening on a daily basis. That's a big number, 7 trillion per day. How many of us actually touch that money? Very few. So why is there a need for paper printing, and all these technical terms that we all hear about just to print more to get the economy right? So you will hear a lot of conspiracies. You will hear a lot of, dare I say, the bank and the central banks and the retail banks and the government bodies and the regulatory bodies with lots of conspiracy theories, I call it, and a lot of it's to stop the movement of blockchain. But I think it's moved on a way too far, you know, now that it is happening. And that's why you see the likes of India, you see the likes of China, and you see all these countries saying, you know, we can't run away from this. We got to create our own coin. So that's already happening. Because if they don't do that, then, you know, the currency itself, as we know it today with fiat, a lot of it will disappear. Because with the internet, why do you need paper money to be printed on a regular basis, right? So we can talk about a lot of these conspiracies. But I think Linda mentioned it before. So my vision is, as that visionary evangelist in some of the companies that I'm involved in, EXcoin Futures, we trade options, okay, in the future, but all in crypto, all right? And only a limited pair. So I will go into that in a minute, but the education side, what we want to do is these sorts of meetings, and I talk around the world, sorry, that's why my voice is a little bit croaked today. You know, everywhere I go, we talk about education. Why? Because few people like this in the audience is not going to make a difference. So what we've done is we've signed up an agreement with a company called Clicks TV in America, and they have been at the forefront of media, many awards, and we're creating a mobile app, and it can be done through the web or TV or wherever, and produce short bite-sized content to the whole masses. They have over 200 million people that they can tap on very fast. So starting January, I'm going to go on a mission to educate the masses about blockchain. So we've been interviewing various big leaders in the industry, you know, from the Brock Pierces of the world through to various people in the UAE that we've also talked to, and try and educate people around the world the benefits of this technology, okay? So that's part of giving back, so you don't find those conspiracy theories happening all the time, okay? So our vision is the banks in the future and the exchanges in the future will become one single platform. Because why do you need to go to an exchange house, exchange money, go to the bank to withdraw or deposit money, or send a transaction to somebody, or receive a transaction to somebody, pay someone in Barclaycard? We see an all-encapsulating, what I call an all-in-one bank or an omni-channel view of banking, because we need banking, we don't need banks, really, correct? We need banking as a function. So that's what we see, that's what we're building, and the main reason for that, people are scared or running away from it, is, you know, we want security. Everyone talks about hacking, and we have had speakers even here, but I hear it around the world. People are worried about, their money going lost. So we believe in security. Blockchain is secure because Bitcoin itself has not been hacked. The exchanges, the servers, yes. But that happens to 100 times more banks and financial organizations, which people don't talk about. The second issue people want is some form of stability and speed. You know, we already on our exchange do over 100,000 transactions per second. And we build it on an MT4 platform. So we're doing a softly approach with tried, tested, institutional grade platform. And in that, what I mean is the fees are very low, and the transaction speed is instant, and the scalability is there, and the security is there, so it's not been hacked. Okay, so people want that, and that's what helps us create the next level. A lot of us have talked about the other side of security. Why is there so much fluctuations up and down with my Bitcoin against X, Y, and Z? So what we decided to do, 4 years ago, is let's peg it against something that when you're trading in the future. So options trading, for those of you, how many of you know about options trading? Wow, I'm surprised, very good. Okay, so in that options trading platform, and when you're hedging, and a lot of institutions do this at a very large scale. So you need to have some form of stability. You can't have the plus 4-5% fluctuations, because you are trading for the next 30 seconds or 1 minute or 30 minutes or an hour or something like that. And that's what we do in selected pairs in crypto, okay? And we peg it against the USDT, okay? So that's one-on-one with US dollar as well. So that revolution now has happened, how to stabilize and make that platform secure, and that revolution's here. And here's some of the things we've been doing. It's already 1 year on, and our USDT and pairing with our own coin, which is USDE, has worked out absolutely amazing. We're trading to almost $1 billion already, and we haven't even advertised. This is all through word of mouth. How many people know that USDT trades more than the Bitcoin just now? Okay? Very, very few. So the reason is, when you are exchanging money, people want to know that it's not going to go up or down even 2 or 3%. You get the money that you said. I'm going to send money to Nick because he came to speak over here. He needs to get X thousand dollars, or double X thousand in his case, or triple X. So he gets that money exactly. He doesn't want to know whether it's plus or minus 5 or 10% by the time he gets to his wallet and uses it, okay? So you cannot be doing that. So hence why we pegged it with US dollar. You know, whether we like it or not, 70% of the world's transaction in that 7 trillion is against US dollar. Of course they are worried. Of course there's conspiracy theories out there. That's why the protections. That's why it's difficult for crypto companies to open bank accounts everywhere. Why? And I'll be open because US banks and all these people will say, sorry, if you deal with these sorts of companies, the clearing banks won't clear your funds. Very simple. So we've got to try and overcome some of that, okay? And Dubai, I must say, has been one of these jurisdictions where it is quite open to doing that. One thing I would say Dubai has, or the UAE region, in fact, needs to do is really, really put their foot down and say, we are going to make this thing happen for real. We're going to have our own banks. We don't care. We'll give clearing, bank accounts for some of these blockchain and crypto-based companies and really take it forward. And the rest of the world will have to follow. Stop being a follower, start being a leader, right? That's my advice. A little bit about EXcoin now and what you can do. So, as I said, we trade in futures and options, and for the last year, we've been trading in a community manner, just to build some momentum and make sure it's all stable, secure, and actually that we are paying out to people, which we have, and we share 50% of our profits to the clients. Why do we do that? Because if you think about banks and exchange houses, you know, from Wall Street all the way to the small exchange houses, that's why they have big glass house towers and thousands of employees. We say cut all that down. We have 25 employees, rest is outsourced. So share the profit back with the community, let them spread the word, and you will get more clients. Okay? And that model has really, really, really worked with us. And we also share in that 50% with the clients. We also put money towards the social good as well, and charities and things like that. Because again, banks, exchanges, everyone's making, you know, hundreds of millions in profit. We don't want to do that. We want to give it back to the community. And if I had my way, I'd do free banking as well and paid banking, which we are also looking at doing. Okay? So some of the features in our system that helps us engage with our clients and bring them on more is, you know, the high returns that you get, the security element that I've already covered. There's virtually no risk in terms of monies and hacking and things like that because we use the MT4 platform. And we have a lot of AI-based and big data-based systems that helps with good analysis and tools that help our clients predict some of the trades that they can place, okay? The profit sharing model that I said, just let me give you a little insight into that. So depends on the clients who become trading clients and depends on the level. So if someone is trading less than 5,000, going up to 25, 50,000, or their whole community, people they've introduced to on here, trade that amount, you get different amount of payback, commission, bonus. None of these airdrops and fake tokens doesn't work in my view, all right? You got to show people real money. That's why even 2 years ago when I was on stage in San Francisco with Tim Drapers and people like that, I was against ICOs. I said, I've come from old school. I want to see, look, feel my asset, and I want security on it. That's why it doesn't work. So softly, you need to do that. And the same way over here. None of these fake airdrops and coins and things. Give them money when they transact. Very simple. Going in the future, we also want to develop, and this has already started, where we are developing our own all-in-one smart card with biometrics on it, with 4 gigabytes of storage on it. So those who want to see it, I'll be willing to show you that. And our own integrated all-in-one wallet with full PSD2 types of functionality. So the client can have an omni-channel view of their accounts, onboard other banks, onboard other cards, all through a single wallet and biometric. None of this time-wasting pins and username and long phrases that you get everywhere, okay? And we do 2 or 3 levels of PFAs as well. So that's already been happening, and just give you a little bit of insight of that as well. So in joining that community, we promote various things from time to time, and I'm proud to say today that we are doing a very limited edition as well of a promo where if you're an options trading client, we are doing another promo of 6.8% per month on a compounded basis for select options traders as well. It's capped, but that's what we're doing. And with that, if anyone wants to talk anymore, just catch me outside. Thank you very much. I think you've got time for one question if anyone wants one.
Any questions from the audience? Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Here.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. So I think you probably addressed some of this in the beginning, but I'd love to hear maybe some of your story. How did you get into blockchain? What advice do you have for young people interested in this field? I think your story is so inspirational and so tremendous. We have a lot to learn from it. So if you could share some insights, I would be I would be honored, actually.
You're most welcome. And I think it was before you came in. I said one of the ways I like to give back to community, and I've done that for the last 30 odd years, not only through charities, but also to education, TED Talks, things like that, with the experience. So you have to do that, okay? We've launched, and I think you saw yesterday what I did with Nick. We've launched a channel which will start going live in January to inspire people in the hundreds of millions, okay? Because this is not about us and being successful, okay? It's about giving something back to the community, and Linda said it earlier on as well in education. You know, I have a saying, when I die, I don't want to be known as a good father, good this, and have made tons of millions. I want to be said that I made an impact on hundreds of millions of people's lives. Very simple. That's what I want on the gravestone, right? So in that movement, because you get more satisfaction. It's difficult to explain. You get more satisfaction doing inspiring the young up-and-coming people. I've got schools built for orphanages and things like that. So I get more satisfaction when I go there and I cry there, getting sad now, and then making the money, right? So some of the advice I would give you is, you know, fall down 20 times, stand up 21 times. I've made and lost tens of millions, and believe me, you know, if you don't have that positive smile and go-get attitude, you will just disappear, and stress will kill you, and it's not worth it. So just keep on going. Be positive. Surround yourself with good people. You know, that's one thing you cannot buy. Because if you surround yourself with, you know, I say, you know, fly with the eagles rather than the sparrows and the ducks, okay? I'm not saying ignore them. You know, hi, how are you? Be nice, humble, what have you. It doesn't cost you to do any of that. So, you know, take lessons from people like that. And, you know, always they say, you know, like the chameleon, it goes onto a tree and it changes the colors of the tree. Some of it feeds back onto you, you know, so you've got a great guy next to you, so learn as much as you can from him as well. And people like this, okay? Does that answer your question?
Let me first say that this award goes to those who inspire the community, and you have been one of those who have inspired us, so please accept this simple token from us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Just go there. Thank you.
So that's
If anyone wants to have any help, just connect on LinkedIn. By all means, if I can help in your journey, most welcome.
thank you very much.